the teaching that the Spada mat draws is connecting the word yom, yamim, days, with light. In the first day of the first time in creation that light is created. And so Yom and light connecting, the idea that he brings is this beautiful phrase, nikudat hitorarut, that each day we have an opportunity to bring a point of illumination, and that we each have a unique point of illumination that we're bringing forth in our days. And there's a beautiful way that we can look in the body and think in the body about channels and openings. And we'll continue today with some forward folds in standing postures, hopefully in a little bit of sitting as well. And I'll invite us to really consider this idea, even as we're sitting. We'll go to the mats in a minute, but take a moment and feel your sits bones and feel your pelvic bowl and the spine lengthen and the collarbones widen. And just take a moment on the inhale to receive a little more space in the rib basket and in the lungs, and on the exhale to lengthen the spine. So we're creating a little more space inside to receive the new light, the new oxygen, the newness of the day. So let's go to our mats. I'll bring in more teachings as we go. And take a little moment here. Okay. So coming to the mat, we'll open first the lower body and the limbs. And if anything I offer is not right for your body, please do what's right for you. So really take care of your own bodies. We'll do some simple lying twists and leg and hip openers, and then some standing postures, but please take care of your body. So go ahead, lie down. We'll bend the knees, place feet hips distance apart, and lie the torso on an opened blanket. So the blanket is underneath the whole torso and the neck and head. If it's okay for you to have your neck flat, please do. Take shoulders down away from the head and neck. So there's a little more length there. And bring elbows in and maybe lift up the chest a tiny bit and send it down again. So you really get some length and contact with the whole back body. And at the same time, also take hands down by hips and lift the hips and just send the tailbone away from crown. And lengthen the spine and all the places in the lower back down again. Imagining even little points of space of light between the vertebrae. So there's just a little more lighting up and spaciousness in the whole spine. And we'll take our fingertips just under the collarbones and rest them here. And just take 3 deep, long breaths to arriving to the day and to the practice, to your mat. You can even sigh audibly if that's helpful, just releasing all that's not needed and arriving to this moment. New oxygen, new breath, new space in the limbs, in the torso, behind the eyes. Great. And from here, we'll just release the hands, let them lie on the belly or by your side. Take the right knee in toward the chest. The left knee is bent, left foot is on the floor. And we'll just extend the leg up. We've done this before, and circle the ankle joints one way and another. Right leg extended up to the sky. And we're just waking up the joints, waking up the limbs of the body. And then bend and extend that right knee, getting some blood flowing. Some of you may have already practiced this morning. If not, you can feel, or even if you have the new openings every time you extend, new points of illumination at the back of the leg, in the hamstring and calf. And then with the knee bent, we'll just circle very, very small circles. The upper leg, the thigh, and the hip joint, just drawing circles, opening up, waking up the spaces inside that joint. Then take right foot to floor, extend left leg up. So the right knee is bent, foot on floor, left leg extends. And you're circling the ankle joints first, waking up the fluids in the joint, the fluidity, the flow of chesed, quality, connected with Avraham and Sarah. And then bend and straighten that leg once more. And take note, we're in a folded shape here with the torso and pelvis steady on the ground, and the thigh bone is moving, right? But the rest of the body is steady. And then bend the knee and circle, very small circles, just waking up one side and the other, the hips, the hip joints, creating more space, more light. And then place both feet on the ground. Knees are bent, feet are hips distance apart. Really lift the arches of the feet, spread the toes, wake them up a little bit. I know my feet are cold. You can really play with waking up the feet in this moment, bringing more energy, warmth down to the feet. Place hands by hips. Let's lift the hips once more. A very baby bridge pose. Maybe walk shoulders down away from neck and find the length of the whole spine. And we'll work with this today in the forward fold. So you're extending knees directly over the second and third toe, really aligned and lifting up, engaging the hamstrings, sending tailbone away from head. Come down if you need, if you can stay for a couple breaths, just activating the thighs, the hamstrings, and then release again, slowly all the way down, maybe with a little more space between the vertebrae, vertebrae, and then please take your strap, and place it over the bottom of the right foot. We'll take the right leg up again, left knee stays bent, foot on floor. Hold the strap near the foot and let the foot be active, and take a moment in your mind's eye to imagine the whole channel of your right leg. So right leg's extended up, strap is around the midfoot, and imagine and see, you might even see there's an alignment of the ankle joint, the knee joint, and the hip joint. So it's one open channel. And from here, take a moment to just extend evenly inner leg and outer leg. Note once more the shape of your body, that we're in a fold, a forward fold. And if possible, take a moment to tilt your pelvis so the rim of the pelvis comes away from the floor. So it's a little bit of a little baby back bend, tiny bit, creating more space at the back, at the pelvic rim, and then extend that left leg long on the floor. And if anything feels a little tight or stuck, you can play with bending and straightening and moving that leg around a moment, and come back to a fold where the left leg is long and extended and the right leg is up to the sky. And feeling your limbs open channels. And from here, even taking right hand, strap in right hand, and left arm overhead, lying on the floor by your ear. So the whole left side of the body is one open channel. Nikavim, nikavim, halulim, halulim, from the Asher Yatzar prayer in the morning. We have open channels, passageways, openings. And feeling these open limbs connects us to Sarai. Sarah's name was first with a yud that becomes two hays with the changing of her name and Abraham's. The yud becomes two hays, and these hays are the limbs of the body, open channels. Take the strap now in both hands again, release the right foot down, and take the left leg up. So first the right knee is bent. Take right leg up to the sky, hold the strap close to your foot so that the shoulders are still on the ground, but there's a light grasp of the strap. So all the limbs are open channels, the arms also long open. Take a few moments, feel into the openings of the leg, at the back of the leg, these points of illumination. And then take a moment to feel into the insertion of the thigh bone into that hip joint. And you'll notice if you take the pelvis and slightly tilt the pelvis away so that there's a little space at the back body, at the pelvic rim, there's a little bit of ease with insertion, and the leg comes a little away from the head. Now extend right leg long, long on the floor. The feet are active. Imagining a channel from inner ankle all the way up through inner knee to inner thigh, up through the spine to crown of head. Always taking deep breaths, the breath of life, Nishmat Chaim, renewing us every moment. And take strap into left hand, keeping legs as they are. Right arm comes overhead by the ear, palm facing in. So the right side of the body is one long open channel. Really lengthening all the way through fingertips, from toes to fingers, from the inner heel, through the inner leg, up through then from spine through to inner arm, through to the palm of the hand. Waking up the body. And from here, let's just take both legs up to the strap for a moment and bend the knees. Bend the knees coming toward the chest, and take feet hips distance apart so you feel the shape of like a squat, like a standing chair pose, but you're upside down. And hold the strap at the midfoot and just feel the shape of soft knees, bending behind the knees, and how easy it is to fold in this shape. Spine is long, extended on floor. And once more, note that your torso and pelvis are one long unit. And it's the knees, you can even play with moving them. The legs, the thigh bones are moving in the joint, but the pelvis and torso are staying steady. And let's release that strap. And from here, bend the knees close into the chest, hold behind the thighs, and just feel the shape of folding. The soft body, the front body stays long, and the knees are folding in. Then go ahead, let's take feet to the floor once more. Lift hips and send them to the right. Shift them over a little bit to the right, and then fold knees all the way in again and take them over for a lying twist to the left. Arms are open at shoulder height on the floor, lying on the floor, palms facing forward, and that right shoulder might come off the floor. You might feel into, for you this morning, this twist, what is the right opening? Where are the next places of shining a little bit of warmth and light into the tight muscles, maybe? You can even take another blanket between your knees if it's more comfortable to have space between your knees. And just receiving front body to back body, this folded twist. Knees to the left, and maybe turning the head and neck to the right away from knees, if that's right for you today. And every breath, receiving the next point of illumination. It's said that Avraham in this phrase, Ba Yamim, brought every point of wisdom and insight from all of his life into the next day. So bringing a knowing, you've been in this shape maybe before, bringing all that your body's wisdom has inside to the practice. Let's bring knees up and over. You can do it in one fell swoop or establish again the symmetric bent knees and feet, and shifting hips to the left just gives a little more space in the back body. Knees to the right, open the arms, lying twist with knees to the right. Palm facing up, and you might note one shoulder might be a little more tight. This one, maybe the shoulder comes up a little more from the floor. Maybe it comes to the floor more easily. And taking deep, long breaths, even in this twist, noting the spaces you're creating in the whole side body, from the hip up through side waist, the whole left body opening. You can play with the arms at shoulder height or even up in a V, really feeling into what your body needs. And from here, we'll take that left hand, keep it on the floor and circle, draw a circle on the floor over your head to come all the way up to sitting. Come all the way up to sitting. And we'll open the backs of the legs with a folded blanket. So fold this blanket that you've just had a couple of times so you have a nice height. And if sitting on the floor is challenging, or you notice you could even use more height, 2 blankets is also fine. And you'll sit on the very front of the fold and extend your left leg forward. So bend the right knee in and extend the left leg. Let that leg be in a shorter angle, not really, really wide, but just knees and toes facing up to the sky. And we'll take a forward fold, just continuing to open the back of the leg. Also, if you have space below your knee on that straight leg, you can take your strap and place it under the knee so you have a little support so that it doesn't hyperextend. Lengthen the front spine, take fingertips in front of the body, and feel first this shape of just lengthening and extending the spine like we did when we were sitting in the beginning, pelvic bowl supporting you. And the shape of the body, there are 2 hays, the collarbones and the arms, and the pelvis and the legs. Yud in the crown of the head, and the Vav is the spine. So the name of divinity in the body, Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. You can feel the expansion from the inner body out to the edges of your skin. So let's go ahead, lengthen the spine and turn the pelvis and torso over the front leg very slowly, a couple of inches. And in the forward fold, always we want to lengthen the front spine. So we're opening the back body, but the length of the front spine is what supports the fold. Coming forward in your own time, we'll stay here for a good half a minute or so, and really noting and feeling into the channel of that left leg. Noting and imagining any tightness that you feel as you're bringing warmth and light of this day into the body. Nikudahi Torah root, a point of illumination. And if you practice regularly and it's better for you to come to elbows, Please do, but keep the spine long. And then we'll come back up. Just lean back to switch the legs and extend your right leg forward. Again, take a little folded strap under the knee if you have space under your knee. And the left leg is bent, a very simple forward fold. The right leg is active, but not gripping. Take a long, deep breath and keep lengthening the spine as you settle the sit bones, turning the pelvis over the legs. So we're not taking it into the back at all. It's one long unit, torso and pelvis as one. Razad Echad, secret of oneness. Just noting on this side, all the places in the inner leg, in the outer leg, maybe in the calf, with ease and warmth, bringing aliveness to this opening. Just really waking up the backs of the legs. We'll move now into some standing postures. Come on out. You can remove the strap and remove the blankets from your mat. And if you have two blocks, please go ahead and place them on either side behind you. And we'll take some standing postures long ways on the mat. And let's take the legs wide, like 4.5 to 5 feet apart, align second toes with sides of mat. Inhale, raise the arms up, feel your limbs open and extended. Oh my goodness. Just like even if you want, take a stretch one way and another, waking up and feeling your limbs as channels for light and warmth. Release arms down, and then we'll inhale, raise arms again. Externally rotate your left leg, bring your right leg in, turning in. And we'll just do a little flow series kind of quickly through a few postures. First, we'll take triangle. And for this, I invite you to once more consider this idea, turning the pelvis and torso over the front leg. Hand comes to block behind you, and right arm comes up. So taking the triangle pose with the pelvis turned down and then the heart turned up, a little baby twist. The limbs are open and strong. You're drawing energy from the inner arches of the feet, pressing base of toes and circumference of heels down. And on the inhale, swoop that top arm down, soften behind your left knee, come to side angle. Side angle. So the left knee is bent at a right angle and the right leg is straight. And then there's a channel from the whole right side of the body, from foot through fingers. Opening to receive the day and the light of the day and your own light. Then keeping legs as they are, let's inhale and just turn the arms for a reverse warrior. So the right arm rests back on your thigh, lifting the left arm up, side waist through to fingers is long and open, and your left knee is still bent to 90. And then warrior two, just easy, simple. Let's have palms face forward, maybe looking over the left hand. And then release, straighten both legs, face the feet forward. Bring your blocks in front of you to receive your arms and hands, and we'll take a wide angle forward bend, forward fold. Align second toes with sides of mat. Establish the toes and circumference of heels on the mat evenly, especially the base of big toe. And take your hands at your hip crease where the leg meets the pelvis, and we'll hinge the shape up and over. Try to see if you can keep that alignment of the joints. So your ankles are aligned with your hips. Take hands first to blocks at a right angle. So the blocks are directly beneath your shoulders. Wow. And really feel into and notice as we continue to open the backs of the legs, your strength, your inner strength, and draw energy up inner legs through pelvis to lengthen the spine a little bit more. So you're sending tailbone away from head, feeling the length of your spine. And then let's walk the blocks out for down dog arms. If this is okay for you, you can stay at the right angle if that's better. Really feeling the length and extension of the forward fold with a very long front spine. The head and neck stay aligned with the upper arms. So we're not dropping the head, but lifting and lengthening from the front spine all the way through to crown. Noting again, where is your weight? And maybe see if you can bring your weight a tiny bit forward. You can even play with softening the knees. Oh, yeah, soften the knees, and you can feel, oh my goodness, the ease of that fold, of that soft feeling of the belly coming to meet the thighs and then come back up to straight legs once more. Walk the blocks back to right angle under the shoulders. Bend the knees, walk feet together. And from here, using hands on blocks, let's take that chair pose with arms supported underneath, just sending hips back, sending knees slightly bent, not all the way to 90, just a little bit, and feel the feeling of the fold and the chair. And if it's possible for you, you can go slowly to come through arms forward and up for a baby chair pose for a moment, and then all the way up to standing. We'll take blocks behind for second side. Are you warm? I hope everyone's warming up. So take your right leg turned out, left leg turned in. Inhale, raise the arms. We'll turn the hips to the right and see if in this moment, just taking and turning the torso up and over, pelvis turns down, heart turns up. Feeling the nikuvim, the halulim, the channels and openings, and the limbs wide open and extended, supporting you. And from here, soften behind that right knee. Let the top arm come down behind you and around for side angle. Oh, and then feel into this open channel of the left side of the body. Open channel. The right knee is aligned over the right ankle, not sinking into the block behind you, but lifting up and lengthening. Where is the next point of opening in this posture for you? The Nikuda Hitora root. Where do you feel that next place of illumination, of newness, of new awareness? And then keeping legs as they are, reverse warrior. The left hand just rests at the back and just a very beautiful opening of the side waist. And then warrior two for just a moment. Palms face forward, maybe looking over the right arm if that's right for you. And then let's straighten the leg, release arms. Walk your feet to the short side of the mat, turning, take blocks at the end of the mat. And we'll come right into a down dog. Inhale, raise arms overhead. Exhale, come to a squat where you're touching your feet, touching your hands to the floor, and then bend the knees and take them back to all fours. Align index fingers with sides of mat. Take feet as wide as knees, as wide as hips, and turn the toes under and come into a bent knee down dog first. Just feel the length of the spine, this folded posture, and then slowly straighten the legs. You can walk the feet a little closer together and notice how that brings different points of illumination into the backs of the legs, of the calves maybe. And then let's walk both feet forward. And once more, with soft knees, take hands to these blocks and take the feet a few inches apart, maybe hip distance apart, and send the hips back. So you really feel the fold of the knees. The torso is coming towards the thighs and coming through a very baby chair pose, come all the way up to standing once more. And really feel as you're standing the length of both sides of the body evenly, imagining open channels, inner legs through spine to inner arms, mirrored by the outer body lengthening as well. And release down. Take a moment and just feel. Standing in mountain pose. Noting if there is any new warmth in your body, any new spaces or openings that you're aware of. And we'll just take another couple of standing postures. Turn again to the side of your mat with the block supporting, or a chair if you have that nearby, it's fine too. Any height that gives a little height. We'll inhale, raise the arms and step your right leg back, hips distance apart, and turn the right leg out. And then soften behind the front knee for warrior one, standing in your steady limbs. And then from here, let's release the arms down and straighten the front leg. Take hands to the blocks, bring them under the shoulders for a forward fold. So both legs are straight. This is prayer pose. And feel into that next place of opening in the front leg, perhaps. So the back leg is turned out slightly. Feel into the shape that's best for you and lengthen the front spine to crown. So it's a forward fold and we're really feeling the opening of the front leg, the back of the front leg once more. Ever renewing the next opening. Every single shape we take, a little more opening, a little more light and warmth and newness. And from here, soften behind that knee and take hands to blocks or mat and come to down dog once more. Downward dog, just feel the shape. Feel the long spine and the fold. Bring the feet close together this time, very close, like one long channel, and really note in the calves what happens. These new points of opening, what changes. And then walk feet again, all the way close, close, close to the hands. Maybe take hands to blocks. The knees are bent a little above 90 and coming through. Chair pose once more, all the way to standing. Keeping the arms up, let's step the left leg back and come to warrior one. Soften behind the front knee. Feet are hips distance apart. Back leg is turned out slightly. Feel the warmth of the arms keeping raised for this length of time. And then go ahead, straighten the front leg. Turn the whole body up and over. Take the blocks on either side of that front leg under your shoulders. Can reestablish your front foot with Spreading the toes and the base of toe and inner heel, base of pinky toe and outer heel is your foundation. And just a simple forward fold. You can even imagine when you're lengthening from tailbone to crown, the right side of the tailbone of the bottom of the spine turning and folding toward the right leg, and the left side of the tailbone lengthening back. Just an idea. So you feel that length and the fold. Good. And from here, we'll just go ahead and walk both feet forward again, release blocks, and come to one more down dog, which is a folded shape. And soften behind the knees this time. Really let them bend as much as is comfortable for you. Taking the weight off of the arms back to the feet and the hips. So you really are ready to almost take a run. Yeah. Like prepping to take a run, and then slowly straighten the legs and soften somewhere. And from here, we'll come on down to the floor and take a seated folded posture. So from here, I invite you to take, if you have the two blankets, both blankets, and fold them long ways so you have extra height. And we'll sit long ways on the mat. Bring your blocks with you. And we'll just take one leg extended and one leg bent. And we're going to create a little baby bolster. If you have a bolster, you can use the bolster. But for those of us who don't, you can take two blocks long ways and then one of the folded blankets on top. And we'll take the same shape of one leg bent out to the side. Let's start on the left. So bring your bolster to the left side of the mat, bend the left knee, and extend the right leg long. So the shape of your body is this. One leg long, one leg bent. And from here, we'll take a forward fold. And again, if you have a bolster, wow, you could even add the bolster on top if you have a bolster. And find the position first of the tilting of the pelvis that we've been doing for the whole practice. So maybe take hands, lift pelvis up off the folded blanket and come back down so that there's a tilt of the front pubic bone moving back and the tailbone moving back. And there's a slight forward folding, forward arch. Take a moment, feel the length of your spine, feel the length of the front spine. Bring that bolster in close to you, and once more hinge the shape over the front leg. So your straight leg is active but not gripping. And from here, you can take hands to the bolster and keep lengthening the front of the spine. And we're just going to stay with this shape for a moment and really slowly, with each breath, note the awakening of warmth and light in the back of the leg. Sit bones are weighted evenly. You can, if you're very close, even fold the edge of the blanket toward you and create a little height for yourself to rest your forehead and round the spine if that is right for your body. Or take that bolster and create a little support for your head. Every inhalation is a lengthening of the spine. Every exhalation is a continued lengthening and a settling. And then from here, let's first come to a very long, open spine and then sit back up. And once more, an easy way to come and switch is leaning back on your hands and bending that straight leg, bringing them both close to you, and then extending the second leg straight ahead. And you can just shift and move your little bolster. So, sitting on a folded blanket, shifting the bolster over to the second side. So, the side with the bolster has the bent knee, long extended second leg. Inhale, raise the arms and just feel the length of the side waist, the length of the front of the spine, the shape of the two hays and the vav and the crown, the yud lengthening up as you release the arms, and then turning the shape up and over, going very slowly. Little bit first, just finding that turning of the torso and pelvis over the legs, not feeling it in your back at all. Should only feel it in the legs. And if you bring bolster close up into the belly, it's a little bit of support, a little bit of extra support. Always lengthening front body, widening collarbones. And we'll stay here for another minute or two. If you'd like, you can bring your bolster up at an angle on top and rest your head, forehead on the bolster. If you don't have a bolster, keeping the fold with a long extended spine is best so that there's no straining of the back or the neck. Just staying with yourself, with your breath. And welcoming the tight spaces as points of potential opening, as points of warmth and light. We'll stay here just another moment. And maybe for this last moment, take a deep inhalation, lengthen the spine once more, and notice if you'd like to fold that blanket up and rest the head with a little more coming forward or not. Really listen into your body and what's best for your body. And let every exhale settle you even as you continue to fold and lengthen. From here, we'll come on up to sitting and remove the bolster, remove the blocks and blanket. And we'll take a lying twist once more, just like we did at the beginning, and then move right into Shavasana to resting pose. So one idea I'll offer is you could, if you're comfortable having a blanket under your head, have that ready. And then that bolster that we created with the two blocks in the blanket, you could have ready to place under. Let's go ahead and place it at the bottom of the mat. So the setup is a little baby bolster with the two blocks holding a blanket and another blanket for your head and neck, if that's right for you, if you use that for the final resting. And come and take your body to the ground and walk the feet in toward you. The bolster is right up by your sits bones, right up close. And first, we'll go ahead and take one more lying twist. So shifting hips to right, bring knees to the left, and find the shape again of extended arms, folded legs, the twist. Consider the idea of this ever expanding opening from within, light and warmth spreading from the center of your being to the edges of your being. Bring knees back to center, put the feet on the bolster, shift hips to left, bring knees to right, lying twist to the second side. Noting any new openings, new spaces, new points of illumination inside. And then bring knees back to center and take the legs over that bolster. Depending on the length of your legs, you can shift so that the bolster is under the knees in a way that's comfortable for you, if you have it there. If not, legs flat on floor is also perfectly great. And then go ahead, find the final resting pose once more. If it's possible, lift hips, send the pelvis down away from the crown of head, and really feel all the spaces that you've created inside, all of these extra points of opening, and palms face up, shoulders come away from head and neck, and we'll rest here for a few minutes. Using hands, bending the knees, let's roll to one side and rest for a moment. Using hands to sit up, come up to sitting. And once more, notice the support within, the structure of the body supporting you, pelvic bowl, sits bones even, lengthening front of spine, widening the collarbones, arms release easily, the back of neck lengthens. We'll close the practice with a phrase from creation, B'Tselem Elohim, the divinity in each of us, greeting the divinity in all of us. B'Tselem Elohim, thank you so much for being here today. I apologize, we went over. My watch was a little slow, but we'll stay here for a few moments for anyone who would like to ask any questions about the practice or the texts. And also, thank you. I see the comments coming in. Thank you so much for coming. Also, you can reach me. I have a website, Embodied Jewish Learning, and it's a beautiful event on December 12th that will be offering. You can check it out on my website. Also want to mention at IJS, we have a monthly mindfulness sit coming up Wednesday at noon with Aviva Chernak, our LGBTQ plus monthly sit. That's Wednesday at noon. And also we have a beautiful new series coming starting December 5th for Hanukkah. And the links are in the chat for those. Yeah, and we'll take a moment if anyone has any questions, any comments or insights about the practice. Also, you can reach out to me with, if you have questions about the text, I can share more with you on my website. There's a way to contact me and you can sign up for my mailing list. Oh, yay. Feeling taller. Yeah. I hope this opening, the openings inside help us bring more light forth to our communities and our world.